Hey everyone, and thanks for checking out this video where I built a command line AI using OpenAI's GPT-3 model. So, for those of you who don't know, OpenAI built GPT-3 as an NLP model for minimal example training. So what it does is it basically uses very few examples to basically get acquainted with what the output is supposed to be, and with just a few examples it can deliver customized outputs. So it's a pretty cool AI, and I'm going to go over some examples of what it can do and then also go over the pros and cons of it. So a few examples, we can go ahead and go to the playground and see exactly what it can do. So it can just go ahead and enter text and submit. So let's try. Whoa. And just submit it, and let's see what the answer is going to be. Oh, whoops. So yeah, it figured out that it's dog, and not only did it figure out that it's dog, but it also just generated an entire story. So how long would it take you to figure out that the message is? I bet it took you a minute. I know it. Now try this. The lazy dog. That's actually what it's supposed to be. I don't know why I put yellow. There's no Z in this sentence. So it's in fact really well trained. And I don't know how much of it is natural smartness or whether it had seen this sentence before and it just sort of figured out what it's supposed to do. But either case, it is pretty impressive. So we can do things like that all over all over. We can also do things like ask commands, and we can see the output there. Get me a soda. Let's see what the output will be. The office. I'll be right. Now, see, this is just an entire story. Get me a soda. Where are you? The office. I'll be right there. The guy was at the counter trying to order, and it stopped right there because the response length is stuck at 64. So if we can make it a little bit longer, let's finish the story. Wow. So I don't know if you're reading this right now, but it sort of makes sense. I didn't want to eat lunch. I mean, everything is grammatically perfect. There are no, there are no, unnatural words or words that don't exist. Every word, every sentence is grammatically correct. Every word is spelled properly. There are no fake words in here. The story itself, I didn't die when I had to clean the bathroom and mop the floors. The story could use a little bit of work, but it's just with a prompt saying "get me a soda," you generate something like this. So let's see how different it'll be when "get me a beer." Oh, whoops. Hang on. Let's just do "get me a beer" instead of the rest of the prompt. No, thanks. Okay, this is actually pretty entertaining now. I'm not paying you to sit there getting sober. Classic play. Well, everything, and as you can see, everything is related to getting drunk. So I'm not getting sober. I'm not getting sober. You want me to drive? No, it's only a mile or so. It just sort of learns what is associated, usually with a giant corpus of data, what's associated with a word like beer. So as you can see, it's pretty intelligent, and the good thing is there are actually 4 different models. So DaVinci is the most powerful. Then it goes down and down and down until you get to Ada, which is the least powerful. So let's see how Ada responds to this. See, that was a quick completion. I went to the fridge and got 2 bottles of beer. Then I sat down in the bar and set them down in front of me. See, even the fastest one, the least powerful one, is complete sentences, no grammatical errors at all, no fake words either, and it really looks like a good story. So this is the power of GPT-3 when generating stories just out of a simple prompt, and we can use that same sort of power to generate command line AIs with a little bit of training. So I used, because I'm using Windows, I built a command line AI instead of a bash AI, but it can be done the exact same way, the same methods and everything with GPT-3. So with a simple just enter a command, click submit, I can show you an example of it. Get all files in the pictures folder. So I don't know if you know what the command is supposed to be, you'll know that it's supposed to be 4 files. Yeah, so exactly what it says here. So pictures in the pictures folder, recursive. Now this might be an error because I didn't specify subfolders, but yeah, PNG files and echo file. So this isn't the exact right command that is, well, not the exact right command, but it's really good. And it can do way more complex commands too. So get text files created 3 days ago. See, now it learned just with a few examples, and I need to put it out there. I only put in about 6 or 7 example input outputs, and it already learned that, okay, so I didn't specify a directory, so this is bad, but yeah, this should be a way. So it's not perfect. This is an error right here. This shouldn't be there, but this is correct. All the text files created 3 days ago. So it can do things pretty well. Not perfectly, but pretty well. It's still learning. Now, maybe with a few more examples where I do cover things like this, to not include specific directories. Every single one of my examples had a specific directory, so I guess it never learned what the current directory is, how to do it without the /p. But here's the main con about OpenAI's GPT-3, which is presented with this problem, is the price. So the way that GPT-3 works is that you don't just train it in the beginning and then just save it, so save the examples or whatever. Every time you run it, you have to run it with the examples. So when you run it, you don't just put the command that you typed in into the API, but rather you put in all the examples separated by new line commands, and then finally the command, and then it will finish off the sentence. So that's a big problem because it's not free. And the DaVinci model, which is the one I'm using for this, costs 6 cents per 1,000 tokens. So a token is about, so how to put it, 1,000 tokens is 750 words, approximately. So if you do the math, with just a few examples, you will easily run into 500 tokens. So with each generation here, I'm using up 500 tokens. So that's 3 cents a request. I don't think in any way, shape, or form that is a viable model, especially for inaccurate results. So that is the main con of the GPT-3 model. If there was a way to, sort of train it and just sort of only make it specifically for this, specialize it. That's the specialize it for command line generation, then there could be something. But in any case, if you just want to try it out, just for fun, it's a great thing to use. You can get it by joining the wait list for the OpenAI beta, and you just have to fill out a form, tell them what you're going to do with it, and they either approve you or they don't. So I recommend trying it out. I recommend signing up, trying it out. And if any of you want to use this particular one, I may or may not put it up because I don't know how good it's going to be. I don't know how much more training there's going to be, but I definitely recommend at least trying out GPT-3 once. So thanks for watching.